And welcome back, guys. So, first of all, don't freak out. I'm just in a creative because we need to test some things. Okay. Been working on the sorting system, but I've noticed there's something we never really checked. Um, I don't know whether or not every mob is going to track me through glass. I also don't even know if any mob is going to track me through glass because of the modifications that have been made to their AI and everything. So that's why we're here. In addition to that, there's some redstone stuff that I want to test that I think would just be a lot easier for me to test in here. But first things first, we are going to try and test the mob system. So effectively, what I want to see is if I put a little containment cell, right? Just make it about 3 blocks high. If I put glass in it and turn myself to survival, are mobs going to rush to me? Or are they going to essentially ignore me? So, the idea is if we have glass on this side, right? We place the mob on the other side. Will they track me to that side? So we'll put, let's start off with the one we want, which is zombie. So we'll start off with the zombie in there. Can I reach? I can. Okay, so zombie, and lock that. Now there's a zombie in there? No, zombie's not in there. Why is zombie not in there? Because we're on peaceful. Zombie is now potentially capable of being in there. Better yet, switch it to normal difficulty, because that's what it's supposed to be. And we'll time... Oh, that's not complete. Time set day? That's not how you do that command. Time set day. There you go. You gotta put that space in there. Okay, so let's try that one more time, shall we? Zombie. See him upstairs. So he's just being there right now. So if I go / mode S, turns me to survival. Can he see me? Doesn't seem to notice me. Okay, well that's disconcerting. If I break this, can you see me now? He looks at me. But is it because he can't theoretically reach me? Is that the thing? Like if I just pop a hole here, I'm in survival. This may take a second. I do apologize for this. Hi. Yeah, see, he locks on if he goes there, but... And there. And he tracks me through the glass. He'll follow me through the glass, but I don't know whether or not other mobs will do the same. You see, that's the thing, is... I don't want just zombies following me, right? I want creepers, I want skeletons, anything that we can theoretically catch, which I believe is just creepers and skeletons. Where are the creepers and skeletons? Here, there's a skeleton, and there's a creeper. Right? So we go there, and we go there. And if I go way back here, because I don't want the creeper to go, change ourselves back to survival. The creeper immediately notices me. But if he's smart enough to follow me through the glass. He kind of, sort of isn't. He doesn't seem to notice. None of them seem to really notice. What if I go like this? Okay, he's smart enough to take shots. Will he follow me? Okay, so as long as they can start tracking me, they will hold on. Glass doesn't seem to allow them to continue tracking. So we're gonna have to think of something else. My other thought was using fence gates. Because they're not technically solid. The only issue is... Sorry about that. The only issue being that they might be able to actually detonate through them. Like, that definitely attracted them. But again, they lose interest. But if they're open, then they can shoot at me and they can detonate and stuff like that. So that's not worth it. Now, I know there are other ways we can do it. We can actually lure the zombies with villagers and stuff, but maybe we'll have to end up doing that. For now, there's another thing I wanted to test, which was trapdoors. Okay? Because right now we have a wall that goes there, right? And we have the trenches, and we have trapdoors that are on this side of it, right? Because they need to open this way so that anything standing right up against will fall in. My question is, can I send a redstone current to here and have it power that block? And I assume I'm probably going to need repeaters to do it. Right? Like if I send this updated, that's a promising sign. If I do this, okay, that opens them, and that closes them. Okay, so we can do it. There's only one issue with that, and the fact that it's not very suitable for the garden. Because it takes up the space, which means wherever this is, it would have to run underneath probably the hedging so that we could power it properly. But it is nice to know that we can power it from the opposite side. Because see, it wasn't really the powering this would it work, is whether or not it would power the block when it's on the opposite side from it, like because it's technically connected here. But I guess the trapdoor is considered the entire block. Yeah, so I guess I'm going to make a cut here, and I'm going to jump into our actual world, and we'll move on from there. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I wanted to test. I already know how to do the mob system. I already know how to do the thing. We still have to work out something to do with that. Something that won't allow me to get shot. Will allow me to get tracked. Oh, there's an idea. Let's try that real quick before we leave. We have dwarf windows, or what I refer to as dwarf windows, in our home, which are essentially just stairs and slabs. Question the concept of just doing... What's in the way? Go away. Just doing that. I assume the creeper will want to. But the question is, will the skeleton take shots? They don't seem to notice me. Is that because of the height thing? Yes. Okay, so it's a height-based thing. Now, our slab system runs like this. Like, our balcony sits us here. So maybe if we do it this way, back a bit, like that, maybe it'll trigger it. Let's find out. Let's rebel. Oh, that definitely triggers them. Okay. The thing is, that's an issue. Okay. Let's see. This is why I'm glad I didn't test it in our actual world. So I don't know how we're gonna get the mobs to lure, other than having me at one end, like bringing them to me and then trapping them somehow. I guess that's a potential we'll have to worry about. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna make the cut now, and we'll jump into our world for a couple minutes. Welcome back. So, back in our world. Yay! So this is what I was talking about with the balcony. Was this. So if we did that, we could actually attract them all the way across. Problem is they might detonate. I don't want them shooting and detonating and exploding and stuff like that. So, my other thought was, that dirt over there is just a placeholder for these two blocks, just mirrored, is I would have a door, like here, an iron door that would allow me to get in and out. Effectively, what would happen would be I could go in, which would attract all the mobs from down here down this way. At which point, I could then trigger, or as soon as they got to the second or third one, as they started to drop into the third, I could go out the door and shut it behind me, and that would effectively put me into a safe location, but all the mobs would be down at that end. The only question is that going to work? It seems like it's flawed because of the fact that the mobs are probably going to be wandering in and around. Now, we do have another choice. The other choice is we could get cats and villagers. Because you see, villagers will attract zombies, right? So if we can purify one villager out in the wild and then bring them down and set them at the end, the zombies would automatically, when they fall in, track to him. The only issue is then I'd have to have him on a minecart or something so that I could bring him around behind to the other side so that they would track back across. That's probably not undoable. And to keep creepers out of these cells, because they're the biggest ones. Because honestly, if I don't have to, I'd like to have the cells exposed at the top. But that would mean that skeletons can shoot me, but I can deal with that because it's just tink. But then there's creepers, and if creepers detonate, it's end game, right? That makes a massive hole in our environment. Now, if we put a cat, and I do know where a jungle is, if we go on an adventure and get a cat, we can sit it there and it'll keep the creepers from passing it, and it'll keep the creepers away. We then just have to figure out a purging system. And of course, if we don't, if we're using the villager to lure them, the skeletons should theoretically just stay in the one area. Unless they just decide to wander. See, the design that this is based off of was off of a zombie spawner. And that was it. Now, I know we could probably invest the time and effort trying to find a zombie spawner. But it seems a little anticlimactic. Or anticlimactic. Climactic? There we go. Those are the words I'm looking for. Again, in other choices, we could literally just have it a water flow, which would automatically force them into the cells, and then we just say, well, what the hell with it. The only thing is we'd have to sit like a kill chamber here, so it's like everything that overflows. We get 3 out of every harvest, and that's not very efficient. That's why I like the idea of having them back and forth. I don't know. We'll figure that part out after we do the installation part. If we're going to have the guy running around, we're also going to have access points on either side. Let's see here. We need a piston that goes across here. We need a piston that comes up. Or no, 2 pistons that go across to stop things from getting in and out or really hurting us. Which means we're going to need a buffer strip, plus another buffer strip, plus a door. So here's the door. And we need to go 2, 3, 4 in. Because there's the interior wall, or exterior wall, interior wall, back wall, actual chamber. And this is where we're going to put our redstone for the isolation cells. Okay, which is these. Okay, so we know that there's going to be, here is a piston that locks them in at these points here. So we know that we can actually dig out the rest of this. Now, we'll probably work on this next episode with actual redstone and stuff and get the actual one cell up and running, and then we can go from there. But yeah, that's it for today's episode. That's the back of my head. There we go. I'll see you when I see you.